Boo, yeah, I'll be the general still reporting for duty. You already know, represent Smif-N-Wessun PNC for live. BuckTown USA, BCC is the squadron, and right now you checking out El Punto The Spot. Yeah, get it on point, baby. You already know. Light it up.
Unstoppable.
Man, the vibe. I seen Dinero over there bopping. I seen CG over there bopping. I seen Massachusetts bopping.
Hey, listen.
Oh, man.
Music brings you right back. Nigga.
Yes, sir. To that time, right?
Classics.
That was dangerous time for me.
Yeah.
Man. That was some time.
That's a fact, yo.
Man, for those of you who don't know some of those songs that were just playing in the background, I want to welcome one half of the legendary duo from a Duck Down Productions, Smif-N-Wessun. I want to welcome to the show Steele. And Steele, before you say anything, there's people already on my line about it's tech. So just let them know right off the back where we going, so we ain't got to cover that.
It's Steele, it's tech, it's stack, it's Smif-N-Wessun. It's General Steele upon deck reporting for duty, yo.
Yeah. Give it a more clap.
Salute.
Dope.
We fresh back in the States, fresh back on U.S. soil, still feeling the jet lag sensation. But it's great to be back home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Where was you at?
Oh, man, we was in France, Switzerland, Poland, Germany.
This hip hop shit is
Italy.
real, yo.
Yeah,
you never
official,
thought
man.
that, right?
Nah,
Think
man.
about when you was making those records. Think about that time and tell me how do you feel right now?
How the homie Big said it, never thought the hip hop would
Take it this far. That's a fact, yo. That's a fact, yo.
That's real, man.
And then you're talking about the other side of the world, like you're in another part of a whole different country, not here. You might have anticipated, like I would still be killing shit here in America.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, they love you even harder. I already know.
Nah, that's the thing. Like hip hop did do the same thing for them that it did for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We witnessed the explosion. We witnessed the birth of hip hop.
Yes.
Right. And we soaked it up. We still soak it up to this day. And there's kids out there that's still learning. They still getting a history lesson, man.
They know it better than we do. That's the crazy shit. They study that shit.
Yeah.
See, we took it for granted, and we think it's our birthright, just being black or whatever.
Yeah.
You're thinking, man, this is hip hop. This is my shit, and they take it more serious. Like
Right.
They follow this shit. They studied you.
Yeah, USA is spoiled, man. You ain't lie about that, man. But it's like. It come from us, and the world know that, which is, we just got to get back to our heritage.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on tour in Latin America, Mexico? And
I mean, we've been to.
I know Onyx. I know a lot of guys that head out to Argentina, Colombia. Like hip hop is huge.
Yeah.
Every country.
Yeah. Right.
We've been to Chile. We've been to Colombia.
There it is.
But not enough, man. It's so much untouched soil, man.
Absolutely. You know what's the crazy part is you're in demand, but they don't know how to get you.
That's the other thing.
That's so you need to have a promoter in those territories you're talking about that knows how to reach you, and that's all it takes. And next thing you know, your book. I speak up because I did it for Fat Joe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Fat Joe didn't realize but he didn't like to fly.
Yeah. That's
so
another thing.
You know what I'm saying? And then I told him, I remember this day. I was like, nigga, if you don't get on the plane, you leaving too much money. Are you fucking crazy?
You gotta be able to rock his cat sometimes.
I said, take a pill. Take a pill and get on the plane. When you wake up, get to work. But that's real shit. And then all of a sudden, my sister helped him with a lot. I'm gonna put you guys in touch with my sister because she has a lot of promoters internationally.
Yeah, let's link that.
Tina does a lot of artists, not just us, not just John and Shanti and Lord and everybody.
Put us on some of those too.
No question.
Yeah, we get in the front of that.
No question.
We lead the back.
One of the main promoters from Brazil is on his way here. I didn't meet him yet, and we talked so many times, but he's coming to meet me.
Yeah, man. All our paperwork is good, bro. We can cross all of the borders, man. Knock on wood. So Trump start doing some other crazy things.
Right.
Man, for some of our listeners, who don't understand, who Steele is, and Smif-N-Wessun is.
They
from out of.
I know if it dread.
We got a lot of. We got a lot of. We have a lot of tattoo on his face. We have a lot of millennium listeners. We have a lot of
these
Caucasian
youngins may not know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to Japanese and certain stuff like that, they definitely do their research, man. But they first appeared on Black Moon's debut album, Enter the Stage.
Yes.
You know, the first tracks I believe was like You the Man, Black Smif-N-Wessun.
Yes.
They were Brooklyn super group Boot Camp Click in '95. Wow, I remember that.
Yes.
I just had I remember I was looking through YouTube and there was a 10-year montage that y'all have on YouTube that shows, you know, y'all timeline through the whole Duck Down.
Sometimes I forget, man, all the albums.
You know how many? That's what I was just gonna ask. Do you know how many songs you have or no?
Songs,
catalog wise.
Oh man, I counted it up before, man, but I don't know now. Like it gets mixed up because every now you have like a spurt, and you know you get some off time, and then you got a bunch of features that you miss out, you know.
Yeah.
Right. And we're just working, man. At some point, I count them up though, because I like to. I'm anal like that. I like to really know. Like I got like 3,000.
Yeah. No, the body of work is real.
15. I can remember like 1,500 raps. Right. Like that's scary.
That's crazy.
Your mental computer is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a doctorate. That's that data for decades.
You know what I mean?
You know, that's one of the things. I'm not an artist, but I always was amazed at artists because they could literally on the drop of a dime and then remember every word, even though I know he wrote it.
Yeah.
But it's still X amount of time old.
Nah, that's fact.
And it's like, look, I used to know so many hit rap songs word for word. I can't do that shit. I don't remember that shit word for word no more.
Right. You'd be surprised at what you got to be at the right party though.
Yeah, you know the right thing sitting in front of you.
You know what I mean? You be at the right spot. You'd be like, oh man, I still know that.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love seeing the growth and the development of hip hop.
Right.
And where we went, because look, you mentioned '95, which is not long ago.
No.
Right.
Shit.
Hip hop was very.
So that's an 18-year-old.
No, but I'm just saying.
Born in 2001.
In the scope of no. In the scope of life.
Used to live in my bones.
Forget him. In the scope of life, that timeline is not crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but what
fact.
I'm saying, that's what 24 years.
Right.
That's not a long time when you think of life. Like that's not a long time. But hip hop has grown and developed so much in that 24 timeline, 24-year timeline. That's what I mean.
Right.
So if we go back to '95, how many clubs was playing hip hop? It wasn't crazy.
Right. It was. Oh man, that's a great question because we had a nice little selection.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean, a lot of clubs got shut down.
Yeah,
I think cats start taking pride in shutting certain clubs.
Right.
Yeah, well, they didn't want it.
Bullshit,
you know, the powers that be, they didn't want this nigga shit. They didn't want this hip hop shit. They didn't expect it to be around and as powerful as it is. Right. They didn't want to create these.
We was having a lot of fun though.
Think about the wealth generated in the hip hop industry. Again, a lot of these damn executives raped and pillaged and stole. You know, that's going to be part of my next question, which was what label you was on. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get to that next. But, you know, those executives, they took advantage of our culture and of us as artists and the whole part of it. The whole, you know, and that was part of what defined our energy to change.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because when we realized how much they was taking, you had to smarten up. But that's what we did as people all the time, no matter what.
Right.
The only thing we never did as people was really stick together.
That's it.
Right. That's the only thing. But as far as creativity and changing and constantly developing and growing, we did that times 1,000.
But you know, during that era, you had an intelligent dude like Russell, who came in and. I'm a, you know Russell's the Godfather, but I'm gonna get on him. No, I'm just saying at that
because
moment,
Russell should have owned hip hop.
Right, he should have.
So in the scope of life, think of Apple. We're talking Apple, like Steve Jobs. That's his company, even though he's not here. Russell should own hip hop. Right.
Yeah.
So if he as smart as he was, he didn't do that.
You know what's crazy? That Russell, he learned the business by watching all the old school R&B, the bad getting raped and pillaged. Like we talked about. Someone, Clarence,
Clarence Avon. We'll call him out.
Clarence Ava.
But listen, what I'm saying is that
the Black God.
No, but listen, I think Russell learned from that, and then that's how he started Def Jam with his, did his thing, and then from that onslaught, that's how the game created a Puffy.
I got a lot of issues when I hear that, so it's like I got a lot of things to say.
Man, that's a hell of a topic right there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that's it.
I wrote a blog. Every once in a while, I try. I'm inspired, man, because everything can be put into like 16 bars.
Right. Yeah. Now you sound like Ross. That's Ross. What he said in Andre 3000.
I love
you can't
both
fit
of them
it in
cats
16.
Right there. Like, Andre might could though. Andre is bad. But
when 16 ain't enough.
I was thinking, man, it's like this crazy dynamics, man. It's like it seemed like all the black artists is destined to reach like one peak.
Yeah.
And right before they like fizzle out. Our artists. But my question was, are black artists destined to fail? You know what I mean? So it speaks to the question of like,
are they destined to fail? I say no, because we have, again, what you did with the wealth or the generated revenue that you made from your body of work. That's a decision you make, right? Our lifestyles is we have let's say extravagant lifestyles, but that's because we never had.
Right.
So when you look at they always show that picture with like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And all this money and not one Gucci belt. That's because them fuckers had it.
Right.
So they don't need to go get
Old
it.
money.
So it's a different mindset. Like I don't, when I see that, I understand it, but it's not real. Like if you never had something, you might want something. You might want to feel a way. They experienced the way because they're that privilege. Right. You know what I'm saying? That white privilege, and they came up with money and all of that. That's different. We never had that shit. Right. Give me a chance to feel that.
Right.
So I understand. I had a conversation with David Stern when he was the commissioner of the NBA. And I went in because I wanted to talk to all the rookies because I felt I could relate to them, like from a money standpoint, going through money. You know how the NBA, there's statistics of how much money they go through. And they just don't know who to trust. Right. We didn't know who to trust. Did you know who to fucking trust? I didn't know who to trust. Right. Imagine we Murder Inc. We over $200 million, and I don't know who to fucking trust.
Yeah.
That's the reality. So how could this white face, this person I don't know, tell me I don't trust his ass already? So how can he tell me what to do? My mom and dad didn't know shit. Right. They worse off than us. Right. So how could they tell me what to do? Right. You understand? And that's the NBA player. Like you see it's draft day and you see all these NBA players, they just birthed millionaires. Yeah. Potential hundreds of millionaires, right? Of dollars that they could generate from playing basketball. It's no different than us in music.
Right. That's a fact.
So at the end of the day, who's gonna educate them to teach them what to do with this money?
As you was talking, I just looked over and I just saw a tattoo on your arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all definitely inspired.
What it say?
PNC.
Yeah, y'all inspired it, B. I ain't gonna understand.
Now, as I'm listening to you, Chris, I'm like, a lot of people don't know, like we, that's the acronyms for whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? One of the acronyms for PNC is politics and construction. You know what I mean? As we building.
That's
as
right.
we talk of politics and as we building. It's like, and you saying, and your question that you asking, it goes to the question, like, are we destined to fail? Your question might be different. Your truth might be different.
Right.
Someone else's truth. But it starts with the build.
Yes.
Like we have to, what Ray say, you gotta get your poly shine on, get your poly shine at the same time while you rhyme. Like we build and we have to be able to build, because if we don't, we are definitely gonna fail. We can get this amount of money and we can get this amount of success, and if we don't build or pass the baton or do those history lessons with our shows, because we know the youngest is like this at the stage, at the front of the stage.
Yeah, they watching.
Right. You know what I mean?
They paying attention to everything we doing. They want to see everything.
When he mentioned build, I think that what me and Chris talk about this all the time, is learn how to build generational wealth through ownership, right?
Facts.
The reason we want people to own their masters is because you can do what with them, Chris? Pass them on to your kids. That means when you go on to your next life or whatever you did, but you're not on this planet anymore, you still making money. You're still generating. Michael Jackson's doing it like crazy, and he's
even like they're doing it. Like I said,
that's what I'm saying. But when
it never ends, and then when he made it in '95.
he wasn't even thinking in those terms.
Right. I know.
Because then your decisions might have been different if you had the guidance and knowledge then.
Right.
Like, and now it's not, you're not in the peak or the prime of your career, but it's still a career and going, and now it's a different business transition.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where, so when you say, are we destined to fail, it's definitely designed to be fucking fucked up.
Right.
It's designed that way, right? Because they, you know, I could remember all of the, you know, every lawyer we had except for Ron Sweeney was no good because they was in bed with Universal.
Right.
Right? So we didn't know that. And every time I fired all the greats, all of the biggest lawyers in music, I fired them all because at the end of the day, I found out that they was in bed with Universal at one point in time, and I was like, I can't do business with you.
It's conflict of interest.
It's a conflict of interest, and you're not in it for my best interest, and I can't fuck with you.
Right.
So I took a page out of Suge Knight with David Kenner, and I said, I'm going to hire Ron Sweeney, who was running Sony, but you can't work for nobody else. You could only work for me. Yeah. And that was when I got my best deals.
Right.
And that's when the game changed for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I learned the hard way, watching money or deals not come to fruition because they basically gave up my client privilege information to the fucking enemy of Universal, and then they blocked my deals.
Right.
And I'm like, how the fuck they know that? And Leo would come in and say, I had a dream that this is what you... I was like, what?
That sound like the criminal justice system.
Yo, he said, this would kill me if this is what you guys was going to do. I'm like, yo, you fucking serious? And right away, I found out the lawyer, I'll tell you the lawyer's name is Steven Shapiro. Him and Fred Davis, two of the biggest lawyers in music. Yeah. They was the ones in bed with Leo. And you didn't understand it at the moment. And as crazy as it is in time, I understand it completely. Right. I understand why, and they was doing business.
Right. See, that's it. And again, that PNC, they PNCs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They know the boundaries that they can operate on without even having conversations. Like they can wink and head nod and throw a sign under the jacket and be like,
sounds like Illuminati shit.
You know what I mean? Well, that's what you think about that. Like if you break that down in layman's term, we talking about people who just have a fraternity the way they run it, and they don't share that. They don't share that information with everyone.
They don't give it up.
So we could be our own Illuminati.
That's why when we bring up Russell, he didn't do that. I love Russell.
Right. That's understood.
But he didn't do that.
That's understood.
He actually jumped on the other side.
Yeah.
He took the rape and pillage route.
The money side.
And then, we always talk about Russell or like Leo, because Leo was birthed through Russell.
Right.
Russell hired Leo, a guy right out of school, didn't finish school actually, to run his Rush management company. But all he did was teach him how to gangster all the artists. And that's exactly what Leo did. And that's why his business acclimate is rape and pillage. His whole,
that's the blueprint.
His whole business, everyone gives Leo all this shit. And all I say is like, yeah, he's a robbing, stealing motherfucker. And if he was black, niggas might have killed him. That's the difference.
It connected, baby.
You know what I'm saying? No, we give the white dude the pass. We give the white boy the pass. If it's a black face, they ready to hurt him.
Yeah, I mean,
Don King, mad niggas fuck Don King up.
Don King.
Fighters, cause he robbed them.
Right.
That's the difference. Bob Arum, who stole even more money than Don, never had that issue.
That's a fact.
You understand? That's the difference.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson put his hands on Don King.
Yeah.
Zab Judah put his hands on Don King. Like I could go through mad fighters, and Don King as a G took the ass whipping and kept it moving. Didn't press charges. Nothing. Hey, Don King's a gangster. Shout out Don King, nigga.
Big up.
Only in America.
He kept the money.
Listen to me. He kept the money.
And kept the money.
So
said, go ahead.
Let me ask you. Say you just came back from overseas, so I know you guys are doing, reviewing your classic hits, and y'all got some heavy shit. Yeah. And I know y'all guys are including some new music now.
Yeah.
So the times when you made the past music versus making the music now, is there a difference in the sound, your style?
I mean, yeah, man, it's an evolution, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know
has to be.
Yes. I think, especially, man, we knew we had a limited amount of information when we first came out. So all we knew was what we knew, which was the streets of New York.
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
So that's predominantly what we spoke about when we was talking to those people, having conversations with those cats.
Talking to me.
And you know, being able from there, we springboarded around the world, and we saw that there's a lot of individuals all over the place. You know what I mean? There's people on the West Coast like that. There's people in South America. There's people in Canada like that.
Right. That's crazy, right?
It just open up our whole palette.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely different in that regards, but the content is still the same. We're still talking about PNC. We're still talking about brotherhood, community love. We're still talking about progressing and success, failures. You know, love, pain, joy, family.
Thanks.
Got better beats.
Life.
Try to make the beats better masters on the track. You know what I mean? Make it more sonically better for the listener. You know, just trying to always evolve, man.
I want to ask you, bro, who's the producers on the album? Like
and
tell everybody the name of that new album.
The new producer on this album. The album that we just dropped is called The All.
All right.
Say it again.
The All.
The All.
Yeah.
That's that shirt you wearing.
Yeah. Hey, arm, leg.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely short
Allah.
For Allah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you can't say, you know, you can't leave out Allah in your work. So Allah is our base, our foundation.
That's what's up.
So yeah, we definitely give it back to that. That's when we say 360 degrees back home. You know what I mean? That's the completion for us.
Right.
And just sharing that with individuals, like for us to even be able to put out music now and be received and be listened to, that's a blessing.
Right.
And the people who have to even listen to this album.
Right.
I mean, the production on here was provided by Ninth Wonder and the Soul Council.
Alright.
The Soul Council is Crisis.
Alright.
Eric G, E. Jones, Ninth Wonder himself, and Knots. And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but it's a gang of beautiful, talented musicians. Man.
Are any of the songs that you're going to be having on the album have like new young artists on there to like, you know, bring that?
Yeah, well, we did a joint with this young brother he go by the name of GQ.
Yeah.
And he's with the Jamla Squad. So we could have searched the globe and see what young talent we could have got on there, but we went with what felt right. And it was a blend of the Soul Council and Smif-N-Wessun.
Okay.
Power of independence, nobody over you, telling you, I want this song, this is what we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
put out what you want.
It was a family affair, man. It was like family reunion at the barbecue.
Yeah,
It was very open-minded, no egos, and everybody in there. I mean, we working with Grammy-nominated, award-winning cats.
Right.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like for us, it's a blessing to be in that space to just create freely.
Right. It's not your first time working with Ninth Wonder though.
No, not at all. We did work. I mean, we definitely built up a relationship with him. Like, it started with Sean Price and
rest in peace, Sean Price.
Wow.
And they culminated that relationship, man. And they just some good brothers, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The whole family, man.
Out of North Carolina, yeah.
Smitty the Kane. These are the females who that was out there. Heather V. You know, they just opened arms with us, man, and treated us like family and allowed us to do what we do. So it was like being in New York.
Right.
But you know, NC is kind of like a little New York surf spots anyway.
A lot of ties.
Yeah.
Which part? I was going to say, which part?
We was in Raleigh.
Raleigh, dope.
Yeah.
Shout out Snipe Luciano.
That's about to be like
Snipe actually hit.
Snipe
Luciano is an artist from Raleigh. That's, you know, he's on Adventures
He's
Music.
Adventures,
He's doing his thing. He actually hit me on the thing. I'm not on it right now because it's over there. But he said he did a song when he was younger with Tech.
Oh, snap.
That's what he said.
Yeah, well, Tech is the governor, man. He's the governor, man. And Tech get around, man.
You'll find Tech everywhere. I would run into Tech everywhere.
Original king, our kings, for real. Because the boy family is huge, man. And, you know, he show love and get love. It's a true Brooklynite, man.
Right. Yes.
Last year, I came out there with the Adventures team for the barbecue, but it was so much rain. Remember we were standing outside Bessie Head in that rain?
Yo, I'm glad you said that, man, because I was so angry that day. You know what I mean? I was so tight, man. It's too much going on, but this year we're gonna be back out there. Yeah. Rain or snow, man. Rain, snow, sleet. You know.
What's
we're
the
gonna
date?
be out there, man. The 27th.
Okay. And
27th of June in Bessie Head Park. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be celebrating life.
Never ran, never will.
So yeah, come bring the family.
That's next
it's
Thursday.
Gonna be live, man. Next Thursday, man. Time ticking, and if it rains, just bring an umbrella because we're gonna be on deck. It's gonna be live out there.
Word is born. I was out there, man. The last time Sean Price performed, man. Word, man. He brought out Little Sean and all that. Yeah, man.
Shout out to Sean. That's my man.
The spirit of Sean will be in the building. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some family members. We're gonna do something special out there for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I got one more question though. Are you guys still independent?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I want you to talk about that, like, and like, cause Adventures is independent.
Yeah.
And I know y'all was at a label, I believe, Nervous, right?
Yes. We was at Nervous. We started at Nervous. That's what we had.
Who Nervous was under Universal?
Nervous was under Nervous. Nervous was independent at
the
time.
Independent, yeah.
But right now, Nervous is consumed by, I believe, Warner Brothers.
Warner. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. We went from Nervous, we went to, it's crazy because we was always signed to Duck Down.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And at first we wasn't even signed to Duck Down because we was doing the homeboy shit.
Right.
Like, we knew each other, so we ain't had to sign contracts.
Right.
But then, you know, Duck Down got that overhead from Priority.
Right.
And Priority wanted the paperwork.
Right.
So they're like, yo, we want to make sure these guys are signed. Or that Homeboy Network, you ain't doing it. That should see the paperwork. But it was just something that just says, yo, all right, cool, we here. Right. And as you can see, we still here. We still with Duck Down. Duck Down gets their overhead from Duck Down right now. So Duck Down is totally, completely independent.
Right.
And has been for
dope. That's a good segue because that was a question I had for you. Versus back then versus now. We're here at Adventures Music. We try to tell the artist first, let's get the business in order.
Yeah. Well, the artist is hard head, man. They just want to shine, B. You know, especially with internet like Snapchat and Instagram. Like
that's right.
They get that fast, that quick reward.
That imagery.
And that's why a lot of people don't make it because they think that they see it and they be like, yo, let me just grab it. Dude, that's just an illusion right there. That's just a video. When the camera go cut action, it's like when you see a lot of these dudes that's in these positions because they really go into the next part of their job.
Right.
Exactly.
Put in that work.
But you know, you said something important about making it. I think that everyone's not made to make it. You know, like I'm gonna be. You know,
real.
Listen,
I know, but
we all played. Most of us when we were young, we played Little League baseball. Soccer, right? Football.
Yeah, that's
not
me.
One of us is
that's me. That's me.
But listen, not one of us is a professional athlete. Now, there's some guys that, like rappers, that go for it.
Right.
Bust their knee open. Done.
Right.
All right. There's things that you see guys that they go hard for 3 years and then they go to prison.
Right.
For 5, come home and don't have that. Right. Like, I don't think everyone. But the key about hip hop and the way the platforms are today, when you mention in Instagram, is that. Today, everyone can try to be a star.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they have talent.
Yeah.
Everyone can get that attention, right? Because, you know, you could put some, right now, you could start fighting and, you know, Dex get the whole, whatever. I got it on film. I put it on my Instagram. I never had no followers. All of a sudden, I get 2,000 followers today.
You the
I'm
man.
going to try to do that again, right?
I try to hit it with the esoteric bill, right? It's like, regardless if your face is shown, you're still a part of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like when we say the all, it's like all things encompass all things. Like my stories may have been about the homeless guy that you're never gonna meet. You're never gonna see these people. Right. Like your information, not just a handshake and a bill. I'm gonna probably put that in the rhyme. I met the guard, we handshake, pieced it up. Then we and east. You know what I mean? Beast it up. Like you build off of your life experiences and. Sometimes we take away. We instead of compounding the sand, we just leave it as sand, and then we can never build on it. But when we put the water and mix it up, then we can make a step. So everything works. In actuality, everything works. Your little bit that you do, I'm talking to all you bloggers and all you.
It all adds up.
It all adds up. That's what I'm talking about.
I got you. I'm with you.
Yo, so
every bit counts. Yo.
Feel proud about your contribution.
No, but I tell artists that every bit counts. Like, cause you know they don't always tell you they don't have the money. That's the number one answer for every independent artist. I don't have money. Well, that's what the independent artist is all about, nigga.
And
not having the money and figuring it out.
And you independent promoters too. Right. Because if you want to book the artist, you like the artist, you want to book the artist, you got to do what it takes to get the artist. You got to have them plane tickets.
Right.
You got to honor that rider. You know what I'm saying?
You got to honor that rider, baby.
If it's Henny and
have my M&Ms.
If it say orange M&Ms,
get rid of all the orange ones, yo. I don't want to see no orange M&Ms in my
peanuts.
Shit. I found out why they do that kind of crazy shit. When people always been talking about he wanted this or that, they do that. The artist, the manager of the artist, really is the one who did it because they didn't want to have to look through the whole list of everything.
Right.
So they knew if they seen something like that done, they knew you took care of the rider.
Right.
Right. So that's something they see right away, and they didn't have to check everything. That was the real reason why you would see like outrageous shit.
Yeah.
I want 20 roses with no petals on it, no thorns, just have or stupid shit. And then when you walk in the room and see it, like, oh, they got the rider. They're going to have all the other real shit right if they get the dumb shit right.
You listen to El Punto The Spot. Yes, it is. El Punto The Spot.
These are Snapple facts.
No, these are facts, yo.
You're listening to one half of Smif-N-Wessun. We're here with Steele.
Yeah.
My last question, I want to remind some of the listeners who don't know the reason why.
That's not a question.
Why
you telling them something?
Why your Wesson is spelled different from what people would normally think of when they hear Smif-N-Wessun. A lot of people don't understand.
See, that's what I'm talking about the needle haystack. See, some people got knowledge itself. They know that's the shine like the sun.
Right.
So when we talk about I shine, you shine. We talk about the shining. We talk about the light. We talk about the third eye light. We talk about that understanding, like that understanding, that love. You know what I mean? Like the highest form of understanding is love.
Right.
So when we deal with that higher knowledge, that higher light, we start to feel like we in tune with each other.
Right.
Like when you watch The Shine in the movie, like they was in tune with the vibrations of the house.
Right.
To some it's spooky. To some, when you in tune with somebody, that's when you know you locked in. So that's what we talk about. We deal with that 360 degree. That's the completion. And the Smith is just the words is swift, like Smith. It's swift. And the Wesson is because we shine like the sun. That's the sun at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Copy. Etymology.
Dope.
Everybody thinking Smif-N-Wessun.
Yeah, we scientists, man. Like we first as a child, we can't express ourselves. So all we gotta do is do the knowledge.
That's a fact.
Do the knowledge our whole first time on the ground.
That's a fact.
It was a pleasure having you here at the spot. We wish your partner was here too. You know what I'm saying? But you held it down for both, definitely. So what? So once again, just quickly let them know about the festival next week and where they can find you.
Yes, come to the BuckTown barbecue on June 27th. It's going to be a beautiful experience. Bring family. It's going to be a family affair. It's going to be some live action. Some of those younger cats that you was asking about. Some special treats as well.
Yeah.
We also going to be out. We're going to be in Brooklyn at the Low Life party. We were hanging out with the low lives on the following day. That's gonna be like the after party to the Bessie Head joint. And then we back in Germany, man. We got a couple of festivals that we're gonna rock out. We're gonna do the Hip Hop Camp Festival. We're gonna do Royal Arena Festival, the Alpha Fame Festival, and all pushing the all, man. All pushing the all. The all is everywhere. You can get it anywhere, everywhere. And if you can't, hit me up on General Steele on Instagram and Twitter.
Right.
BuckTownUSA.com. Smif-N-Wessun at Smif-N-Wessun.com. It's there. Google me, son.
Yeah, give us some claps for that. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for coming, man. It's dope.
All right, everybody.